everybody. Welcome to the morning drive presented by the Majors TV. I know Adam already did one of these this morning, but I'm still on my way to work after a long networking meeting this morning that I go to on behalf of the business we work for. Anyway, just wanted to share my thoughts essentially on making baseball fun again. I know that is a kind of a, semi-popular term, or make blank again. Popularized first by Donald Trump and then kind of the baseball angle by Bryce Harper at this time last year, where he wore his Trump-style hat, let's call it, the red trucker hat, saying make baseball fun again. Anyway, essentially building off of comments made by Tigers second baseman Ian Kinsler during an interview right before the semifinal of the World Baseball Classic, essentially saying to the fact that he hopes that audiences would appreciate the way that the American team played the game compared to the essentially the two Latin teams that were remaining. I believe that was the Dominican Republic and Venezuela. I think I have those wrong. The DR was one of them. Anyway, just to say, we weren't raised that way, and I think that that's important. Well, you know what, Ian Kinsler? The type of people that appreciate that the unwritten rules and, quote, doing it the right way, that generation is dying. That the millennial fan base, which you need to grow in order to keep the sport around, it may not suffer the consequences of an uninterested millennial generation for about 15 years, but guess what? Baseball's not a game that you're going to pick up later in life as a fan. It's not something you're going to appreciate if you don't appreciate it at a young age. And you know what? Today's audience, who has that instant access to entertainment nonstop without hesitation, is going to not be interested in baseball. And guess what? When they're the primary demographic for your sport, just a couple years, you're going to be in trouble. Because you know what? You're not going to have advertisers willing to advertise to the primary buying demographic in the coming years. And you know what? Your sport, everybody's talking about, look at the sport's never been healthier. Look at all the expansion in revenues, and look at player salaries exploding. That will all come to an end when people who are my age now reach their peak earning years and are essentially those who are primarily advertised to. Nobody is going to want to advertise in baseball because my generation won't be watching, and when my generation isn't watching, the sport of baseball that has been around for 100 some odd years will die, and it will not be a slow, exaggerated, painful death that may be able to be saved. It will be quick and quick and quiet. It will ride off into the sunset. Unless, of course, baseball takes drastic action quickly to make baseball fun again, it will not be around. Baseball needs some of the, let's call it the Latin flair. You saw the emotion and enthusiasm specifically the Dominican Republic team played with throughout the World Baseball Classic. Whereas it seems like the right way to play the game, air quotes, reserves that flair for just the postseason. If you can't get the millennial generation excited to watch just a regular season game on a Wednesday evening in the middle of the regular season, because you know what, turning in it's a 4-3 game. There's about 2 innings worth of excitement, but the rest of it's boring. If you can't get them to turn in for that, you're not going to have them for the playoffs. You're not going to have them when it counts, and you're not going to have them later in their life. So you know what? I don't have the exact solution, but you need to make baseball fun again. Not to mention at the youth level, there's never been more sports to participate in as a youth player than there is now, especially now that sports are getting more and more expensive to participate in with high school pay-to-play fees. Back in Mark parents' generation, if you wanted to play a sport, you just showed up. Equipment was paid for, your jerseys were paid for, you played for the team. That was it. You didn't have to pay a single dime to participate. Now it's somewhere, in a community like that I grew up in. When I graduated, 7, 8 years ago, pay to play was $200. Now it's like $300 to play a high school sport. That's a lot of money to a lot of people. Somebody with $300, whatever. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. And if you can't afford to play, regardless of your excitement level, then you're not going to be able to get people into sports like this. They're not going to be willing to essentially convince their parents to make that collective sacrifice to pay for them to play. They're not excited about it. And that's yet another reason that baseball needs to be made fun again. You know what? So I'm all on the Bryce Harper train. I'm not going to wear a Make Baseball Fun Again hat because, people have a tendency to punch people who wear red trucker hats now. But anyway, I support anything you can do to make baseball more exciting outside of fundamentally changing the game. And with that being said, that's going to wrap up my morning drive this morning here, presented by the Majors TV. You can catch us on Periscope here at the Majors TV, on Twitter at the Majors TV, or on YouTube at the Majors TV. So there's no one else here with me. I'm signing off like I do on our podcast, which are hosted on Monday night. I'm Dorf. We'll see you guys next time. How do you stop this thing?